I'm Nadine Dody. I am a licensed professional counselor out in Redmond, Oregon. I have a private practice out there where I see mostly first responders and their spouses. I also work for the Bend Police Department part-time as their wellness practitioner. In the first responder world, every first responder is going to experience trauma. So it depends on how much resiliency that they have within themselves to be able to withstand that trauma. What happens is when their ability to cope with the trauma that they're seeing and experiencing gets out of balance, then they can be set up for post-traumatic stress, which then, if not treated, can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder. This is very common with most first responders because they see about 600 different scenes in a year, depending on their agency, of traumatic information. Some of the symptoms and experiences you might have if you're experiencing post-traumatic stress would be an increase in hypervigilance, an increase in anxiety or depression, suicidal ideation or suicidal thoughts, not wanting to go to work, feeling overwhelmed when you get to work, just a constant state of feeling overwhelmed. A lot of times tasks might seem like they are taking way too long. So what used to take an hour long as a task might take 2 or 3 hours. You might have times where you're sitting down and all of a sudden you lose track of time. It just goes away. We call that kind of sitting in the magic chair. So you sit down and you sit down to watch a show for half an hour, and pretty soon you kind of come back to reality of life 2 to 3 hours later, and you have no idea what you're watching. The impact for the family is that now their first responder that used to be involved in the family and engaged in life is now isolating. They're not wanting to go to family events. They're not wanting to hang out with friends. They may spend hours in bed and not engaging in life with the family. You know, one of my officers came in and kind of an experience of just crying a lot, heightened emotion, very angry, hyper startle. So if somebody would drop a pan or make a noise, they would jump out of their skin. All of those things are just kind of normal symptoms of post-traumatic stress. And what you want to see is it, you know, if you have some of those experiences after a major call, what you want to see is that it's getting better with time, not worse, or not staying the same. If it's staying the same or getting worse, then you know that you need to get some help. So a good first step for a first responder to reach out and connect with one person. So just take that little simple step, invite somebody into your thinking and what you're processing. Peer support members are trained to be able to do, you know, kind of more of a mentoring role. They can also help you with if you need time off work or getting into counseling. They can connect you to culturally competent counselors. So that would be my number one first step that you could do. Another avenue would be, you know, getting a close friend involved to help you make those steps. A lot of times it's scary to pick up the phone and just start calling counselors. So having somebody that you know and trust to help you do that, your spouse would be another good one. You know, kind of building a support community would probably be a great first step. Once you reach out to that first person, you're starting the process. And as you're reaching out and you're starting to get help, this is survivable. Post-traumatic stress is survivable. And it is more of an injury to your brain than a disorder. It happens when you experience stress more than what your brain can handle. So when you think about that as an injury, just like if you had a broken arm, that injury is going to heal. So you may still have some symptoms, you know, 10, 15 years, but they're not going to be as heightened as they are right now. So if you do the things that you know you're supposed to do, like get counseling, do your self-care, start working the program that your counselor puts in front of you, your brain is actually going to heal. And that's good news.
Over 50% of the work that we do at Integrated Renewal is focused with first responders. We feel honored in order to support you as you are serving our communities, and we want to provide effective and efficient resources for you to understand and know that post-traumatic stress or stress symptoms that you could be encountering are very much helped and treatable and very survivable. You might feel lack of energy on your days off. You might rely on caffeine to wake up and alcohol to go to sleep. You might also feel like it's difficult to feel rested and you're bringing yesterday's stuff into today, and those buckets are full and spilling over with a lot of irritability or just constant strain on your physical bodies. One thing that's unique about being a first responder is that we're not looking at traumas from past, but it's a constant ongoing place that you live every day at work. So you need specific resources available to you in order to match that high level stress that you encounter on a daily basis. We understand this process, and so it's something that we specialize in to have modalities that are specifically effective for you. Most of the first responders coming in utilize neuromodulation. That is something that is not a cognitive process. You don't have to talk about the things that you've experienced at work or outside of work, but it can be very quickly impactful for your nervous system to move you from a fight, flight, or freeze pattern into a more calm and restful state. It helps with sleep and restorative patterns that you have energy when you wake up. It's very encouraging where most of our clients come in and just say within a few sessions that they feel like there's a whole new world available to them as far as their capacity and their ability to handle stress. If you're interested in more information, you can click on the Services tab or the links associated with this video. We would look forward to walking through this process with you and offering you helpful resources.